guys, hope you're doing well. Um, this is my 2023 Oddities video. I know I filmed my 2022 one not that long ago, hence, I guess it's a consequence of going near the end of the year last year, which wasn't that long ago. But yeah, this show, it was a lot smaller than the one I went to a few months ago back in November. It was a larger city, the one that I went to in 2022 than this 2023 show. So there wasn't as much to look at, but I still had a good time. But I didn't really buy anything. I only bought one art print. Last time, as you saw from my haul, I bought these earrings, which are from possum bones, and I got a wet specimen, and I got some jawbones and a skull and some other things like that. This one, again, all I got was the art print, but it was still cool, to look at the different stuff that they had. This show had like a whole slew of hearses. I don't think I got a chance to film a lot because lots of people were standing in front of them, and I try not to film people without their permission. Obviously, if there's like a large kind of crowd situation, no individual person's gonna be picked out. But if there's a lot of people that are like easily identifiable standing in front of things, I try not to film them, because they didn't ask for that, and I try to be respectful. So there were a lot of people taking pictures in front of the hearses at this oddity show, so I didn't get a lot of video of the hearses. That was pretty much the most notable thing. The Expo Center was pretty small, and there weren't that many stalls. I honestly was a little disappointed, but at the same time, I thought it was valuable information. I really have seen that each different show location is gonna be a very different experience. And because of that, it kind of gives me, like, on an individual level, incentive to try out different oddity shows as they are available wherever I am, because I know that I'm going to be seeing different things. So basically how it works is, for each state or region of the country, different vendors may or may not be there. So for the one in Tampa that I saw, there were more Florida and Southeast American kind of businesses that were tabling there. But this last one that I went to, there were kind of Midwestern businesses that were present, and I don't know if it's just because of the way the South is. If you know, you know. The South is a weird place, and there were lots of weird things at the shows in the South. This one that was a bit more north had a little bit less variety, a little less eclecticism, less to offer. I saw less artifacts of history and more kind of general artwork, and then just kind of plain bones, but less like quackery, instruments. I saw less taxidermy, things like that. The show as a whole was a very different environment, a different experience. The show that I went to this recent time seemed to have more variety of clientele, where the one that I went to in Tampa seemed to be mostly alternative people that were kind of visiting and participating in the booths and buying, whereas this seems like it was alternative people, normies, curious people, people who just kind of like weird things. It was, I would say, more of a mixed crowd, which is good. It's good to see people expanding their horizons, as you would. Whereas in Florida, which is where the last show was, it was in Tampa. Florida is a special, weird place. It's kind of like its own country. So the people that were going to an oddity show were very dedicated to going to the oddity show. And there were a lot more stronger imagery, I think is a way I could say it. At that show in Florida, there was a lot more overtly Satanist kind of iconography. There were more taxidermy that were like dressed up in costumes in kind of like a bizarre comical way. There were just things that were not at this kind of Midwestern show. But it was interesting. It's interesting to me as a casual, as a commentator, as a participator in the expo, seeing how different people based on where they're from participate in the same kind of subject matter. And that was like kind of cool in itself. I really would have liked to have been able to purchase more, but there just wasn't as much that I was interested in. And then because I had gone to a show prior, I had seen how things could be priced at, and the price point that I saw at this more recent show was inflated, to put it nicely. And having been exposed to prior a show that was larger in volume, had more booths, had more variety and array of products, which was also at a lower price point compared to this one, it just seemed like not really worth, nibbling into it. If you're from the Midwest and this kind of thing doesn't come across your scene very often, I could see a value in overpaying for this kind of merchandise, but because I am able to travel a little bit more often than a regular person might be able to and participate in the Oddities Expo in different locations, I found that the previous region I had gone to the expo in offered a better value for me as a customer than this one in the Midwest did. So take that information as you would. It was still a good time. I still saw interesting things that I wouldn't see in the day-to-day. It was still fun, and the tickets are still cheap. The tickets are like $10 to $12, I think, and then if you want to do the extra sideshow, it's usually like $5 more. I did the sideshow the previous time, but based on the description, it seemed to me that the sideshow this time had similar things in it. So I didn't feel like I needed to buy it this time. However, maybe next year, or if I see a show this year but in a different city, which I might do, maybe I'll buy the sideshow again, because it's inexpensive. It's only $5 extra. So I think last time I paid like maybe $17 for myself, and this time with like some extra fees for the event center, I think it was like $12, $13, which is not much. And you can stay there. In my experience, you can exit and re-enter as much as you need to because your ticket's paid for. I will say, buying tickets in advance was really helpful for the previous show that I went to. Last time, the line was very lengthy because it was in Tampa, which is a larger city. So I was able to skip ahead of the line because I had already bought tickets. And all I had to do was like check my bag to make sure there were no weapons or whatever in there, which is fine. This one was less busy, there were less vendors, and I didn't have to check in with security, which was interesting. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. I know this video is going to be pretty short after my talking points, because there really, frankly, wasn't that much to film in the first place. But still, I hope you like it. And yeah, after this, be kind to yourself and have a good day. Bye-bye.